Time now for the voice of the land on the Big Play Network with your hosts, Kevin Arnold and Always Positive Jay.
Kevin, you're so up on the Browns this year. You know?
I'm so up on them. I love getting a win when we're already basically out of it, when we got less than a 1% chance to win.
So we're still at 0.04% to make the playoffs?
I think it's maybe up to 0.8.
So I will say I am happy anytime we beat the Ravens.
Yes. Oh, yes. I hate the Ravens.
I
I can't stand them.
So I joke, but let's put it in perspective. The Ravens, that is where the team was moved to. That was the original organization of the Browns. Now
they stole my Super Bowl.
Stole your Super Bowl, yes.
And my culture.
So absolutely hate the Ravens. Absolutely hate Pittsburgh. I kind of hate Cincinnati, but Joe Burrow's kind of hard to hate. So I dislike Cincinnati. I can't say hate, but I hate the Ravens and I hate the Steelers and I dislike the Bengals. Yes, I'm all Cleveland all the way.
Right now, I had Joe Burrow in fantasy. I needed a huge game for him. I don't know what he's been doing the second half.
I don't know.
But I might end up hating him by the end of the day. I'll tell you that much.
I mean, we'll look in a break. We're not really going around the league tonight, but
yeah.
I mean,
at least our defense played better. We had what they call a complimentary football, I guess. Offense scored a touchdown. Defense had 2 turnovers. Special teams was meh. They didn't.
So it was
Cade York. I mean, when Justin Mother Tucker is missing and Cade York misses, I'm not going to get mad at Cade York.
Right.
It's a tough day to kick field goals out there.
I mean, the one was an absolute shank. Now, the other one, I don't know if that's kind of footing or whatever. I'm not going to make excuses. He missed kicks. Tucker missed kicks. Tucker missing kicks is why they lost. Cade York missing is why the Ravens still had a chance every single time and made it difficult.
I mean, I just don't like when people go out there on Twitter and call for the dude's job. He's a 4th-round kicker. You ain't getting rid of him.
No.
And I guarantee you, I could just tell this dude is going to work his ass off and get his fundamentals and technique down to perfect.
Oh, but you got to have the hottest take. You got to have the best jokes about these guys. You got to do this. You got to do that. These are the same people that were saying after that, it was a bad loss that the Cavs suffered, but it's not a loss where you're asking for people to lose their jobs. The same people that are saying that Cade York needs to be gone now are the same people saying after that game Darius Garland needs to be gone.
Oh my God, that was
Darius Garland has, and we'll talk about it more here coming up. But yes, Garland's splits on the road and home are not great, and he's missing shots. But the last 2 games at home, beyond Donovan Mitchell, a lot of people were missing shots, and even Donovan yesterday was missing shots. They had to come back in the 4th quarter in those back-to-back games. They were letting a team that didn't have Doncic or I think Dinwiddie, their 2 point guards they didn't have yesterday. They let Kemba Walker go off, who has only played in 3 games this year. So, look, there's a lot of criticism that can always go around. It's not like we need to go to every extreme. My issue with yesterday, guys, is, yes, I like spoiling seasons for teams that I hate. Sure, that's great. Moral victories. I'm kind of over the moral victory train, and I'm kind of over, we got the spotlight. We're on prime time, or we're on national television where a lot of people are going to be watching. Only game playing. Look at this effort we give. Where the heck is that effort every time? I'm not letting them ruin my day if they lose, but it's just so annoying.
I mean, they gave that same effort last week. The defense, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah. The problem with this team is they're consistently inconsistent.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's like you're capable of more. That's what's so disappointing, because that's what's so meaningless about yesterday's win. You're telling me you're capable of more, and you're basically out of it when you could be a dangerous team at least to start the playoffs. That's just that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know why. It just doesn't sit right with me.
What drives me nuts? How much you guys want to bet that we're going to come 1 game out of the playoffs this year?
Oh,
I'll put money on it.
I already know it.
It's either 1 or 2 games, and we're going to just recall 2 little moments like the Jets game and just one of the other mind-boggling losses we had.
Oh, yeah, that Jets loss is looking better and better because they're playing so good. Oh, wait, they're down to 500.
Worse.
Oh, how about that Atlanta loss? They were looking good. Oh, wait, that's not looking good either. My goodness.
Hey,
I mean, the Saints could come in a blizzard
talk
and
about
beat
bad
this
takes,
team.
though. I don't know who. I'm not going to plug them, but I read an article, and these people have like 26,000 followers, and they're verified on their thing. And this guy wrote an article
Paid for it.
Trade Myles Garrett. I was like,
Oh,
what? Like, are you kidding me? This has to be the worst
Well-
thing. I read the. I'm like, you got to be joking. And it's because he helps up the other quarterbacks. He doesn't have the killer. He doesn't have the killer instinct. I'm like,
Oh, that's old.
ask Mason Rudolph about that.
Yeah.
like. But seriously, you're gonna trade Myles Garrett?
Because he's all right. That's old guy get off my lawn stuff. Like that's old school. Like that's you look at the NBA. A lot of these guys are friends, and yeah, they were teaming up even more, or they go hang out with each other, or they dap each other up at the end of the games. Guess what? That's just the culture. Deal with it. Suck it up and watch it. If you don't like it, don't watch it. I don't know what to tell you.
Is there a penalty for helping up the opposing quarterback?
No, there's a penalty for taking them down the wrong way.
Do you get points taken away, or do you gain points for like being meaner to them, or like laughing at them when they're?
No.
So there's no real benefit except for you look like a jerk.
Yeah, I don't care.
Like dude is like a baller on defense. I don't care what anyone says, and they sit there and they get mad at him. They're like, don't show up at certain times. Where's Myles Garrett? Probably getting triple teamed. Where's Myles Garrett if you don't see him doing anything. Dude, like, I can't. I don't understand it. Why is everyone hating on one of the best players this team has ever had in their history?
Now, I will say, if you're hating on him because he doesn't come through in the
critiquing him was one thing.
Critiquing, yes. This is what I would say to someone that's saying to trade just because he's helping people up. Again, if you don't like it, don't watch. But that is what this culture is now. These guys are all friends, but he's also a very nice person. And guess what? If you want the team to be this team of people that they make a big play and they're standing over them so they can't get up, guess what? That's a 15-yard penalty. If you're good with that, I hope you're good if that costs the game for the Browns, because the Browns seem to be in every game. If they lose by a close margin, and one or two plays decides it. Well, a 15-yard penalty that helps the team go score, take a lead, or extend a lead, guess what? That makes it more difficult, puts more pressure on your team to come back in that game. And so if you want a team of jerks, you're going to watch a losing team. Sorry.
Yeah, that was like one of the worst takes I've seen in a while. I'm like, this dude talking about trade Myles Garrett. I'm like, there's two positions that you have to have if you want a great team: a great quarterback and a great pass rusher. They're like the two most wanted positions in sports. And we have one of the top three, and we're going to trade. I'm like, for what? Draft picks. Like, I love the draft, but get over the addiction to draft picks, Cleveland. Please go seek help.
I mean, how well have we really done with a lot of our draft picks?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's, we don't have a first-round pick, but guess what? A lot of these good teams, they make their money on second, third, fourth, fifth rounders.
Yeah.
And now that we're getting a couple years into some of these guys that Andrew Berry has taken, they're not making as big of an impact. They're not looking as good of players. So if you're throwing roses at him too, but what's brilliant...
That's a whole nother conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation. That's off-season. We'll get to that. What's brilliant about you bringing that up, and like kind of paints the picture of being a Browns fan and why it's so agonizing. I started out by not necessarily criticizing them, but kind of being realistic that some people would perceive as negative. I turned that all around within 5 minutes and started defending them because I just love Cleveland and I love the Browns. I don't know what to tell you. Like,
I don't know. The dude plays his ass off. It works hard.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously he's working hard. Look at the size of the man. You can't get that big if you're not working out. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Guess what? And you're not getting another player like that for a long time, so you might as well keep him as long as you can. So
I mean, he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's probably going to be a first ballot Hall of Fame. We'll trade him. Ask the Raiders how they feel about trading Khalil Mack right now.
Yeah, not great. Not great. I don't know.
Mike Mayock.
It's just, I know the word fan is short for fanatic, but I feel like there's a difference between fans and the fanatics. And it is becoming more and more extreme every single day. And keyboard warriors are getting more and more of a voice. And
Our friend Bree has the perfect name for them: smooth brainers.
Ooh, yeah.
I was like, that's hilarious.
Well, so kicking it towards the other football for a second.
Yes.
it just reminds me of the Welcome to Wrexham. There's a whole episode about the soccer hooligans. You know, and those people are insane. And I think
I know
some of the
sports, they are the craziest of all.
Yeah, but I think some of these football fanatics are heading in that direction where they're so rabid, you know, about like, oh, you have to hate each other. The thing is, these players are pros.
Yeah.
And they know that there's any day they could be traded to another team, so they're not going to, you know, they're not going to be holding grudges against other guys. They're professionals. You know, I'm glad Garrett acts the way he does because he's a stand-up guy.
Yes.
Exactly.
He's the type of person you can look up to. I know he's got the blemish with the helmet swing, but someone that has shown remorse for it and has, you know, had the time and done the time to replenish, replace, fix his image back to what it should be, and telling them that's an outlier of an overall good person. That's what I want to see, and that's what I want to see out of Deshaun Watson too, to make me feel better about him being the face of the franchise. Like, I still don't feel comfortable about it. That's just me. You can feel differently however you want. If you're trying to convince people that he's good, and because of how great of a throw he made to Amari Cooper or whatever video I saw, he's being paid $230 million. I know he doesn't look like that yet, and he's still knocking off Russ, still trying to get into the flow of the game, but he's paid to make those kind of throws. He better make those kind of throws. He's a franchise quarterback. I don't need convincing. I just need him to go out there and do that when the opportunity presents itself. But Browns get the win 13-3 over the stupid Ratbirds, the Baltimore Ravens.
It was nice.
If they thought that was a cold game, wait till Saturday on Christmas Eve. Boy, oh boy, is the weather report not looking good. Hopefully that improves slightly so that people can travel safely. But then again, who knows? It's Northeast Ohio. Winter is coming, and you never know.
It's a little unpredictable here.